Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Let's check my microphone levels. Check, 1, 2. Welcome to another episode of Apple Home Talk Live stream, all about setting up a smart home within Apple Home. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a very busy day, so I'm excited to sit down and relax a little bit, hang out with you guys, talk smart home stuff, nerd out a little bit perhaps. Let's say hi to some folks and then we'll get rolling. Got a few things to talk about today, some projects, and yeah, just want to see how you guys are doing. Bill, what's up, Bill? From Boston, North Shore. Mike, Rhode Island's in the house. We got Ontario, Canada. William, what's up, William? Frederick is here. What's going on, Frederick? Thank you for stopping in. Got the popcorn ready. Let's get this show on the road, says Frederick. Let me check my pop-up thing here too. Let's see. There we go. Yep, Frederick's got his popcorn ready. All right. Appreciate you being here, helping out with the chat a little bit, Frederick. Trent as well. What's up, Trent? Lone Star Trent. Waiting to see if we get another hurricane. Yeah, it's been hot today. It has been hot. It feels like summertime today outside. Austin, Texas in the house. What's up, Tom? John K. Wolf is in the house. Jeff, Pepple, Georgia. All right, we got Georgia in the house. Netherlands, Lurk Jerk. What's going on, Lurk Jerk? How's everybody been doing? I saw some chat about the podcast up here. Thank you, Frederick, for the kind words there regarding the podcast. And there was another comment as well I saw. Anyways, started a whole new YouTube channel with my wife. It's a podcast, so if you haven't seen it yet, check that out. I think there's a link down in the video description of this live stream if you want to check that out, or you can search Wife Approved over on Apple Podcast. We get into a little bit of everything over there, so it's a little bit different, not just tech, but there's definitely a lot of tech talk as I'm constantly battling, getting things wife approved here in the house. Hair Riot, what's up, Hair Riot? Thank you. It says loved the podcast, the latest episode. I'm glad to hear that. That episode was a tough one. If you've seen it, probably know why. It was, that was a bit of a tough one for us to put out, and some hesitation there as well, and we're kind of second guessing it and all that good stuff, but I'm glad we did. We got some good feedback, so hopefully it was good, maybe helpful to somebody else out there. How many beers after the latest one? Yeah, we did go have a beer after the last podcast. Automations and eye twitching. Yep, that pretty much sums it up right there. So depending on how the week goes, we shoot those at the end of the week. So depending on how the week goes, kind of depends on, the whole vibe and the mood and whether or not, and how much we're drinking afterwards, I guess. What's up, Pama Kit? Back from a trip to Italy, visited the Apple store. Oh, nice. Over there. And let's see, almost bought AirPods 3 there, almost. Yeah, that was cool. I actually, when I went to Berlin, I know we talked about that a lot, the whole IFA trip, I got to go to the Apple store in Berlin, which was really cool. So it's a little special anytime I get to go to an Apple store, because I don't have one near me. So, I don't get to go very often. Oh, there's the comment. Okay, Juan, what's up, Juan? I don't think I shouted you out yet. Thanks for stopping by. So I just finished episode 7 of the Wife Approved podcast. Once again, absolutely loved it. It was such a great surprise to hear you read my review of the show. Oh, that was you. Nice. Man, that was such a nice review, man. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that was a glowing review. Really appreciate that. The 5-star review. So, and that's another thing. If you do watch the podcast, would love a 5-star review over there on Apple Podcast. It's a new thing, so we're we're kind of going all in on the podcast. We're definitely going to be doing a new one every week. We're committed to it, but it's a new thing, so we're trying to grow and expand and just see where it goes. So those reviews mean a whole lot, and we definitely really appreciate that. Ooh, nice. My favorite Apple store Lurk Jerk visited was New York City and tried the Vision Pro. Very cool. Let me know in the comments, where is your favorite Apple store that you have visited? I would love to hear what everybody thinks. I think they just opened up a new one. What was it, in Detroit, I believe, recently? Was that the new one they just opened up? So I haven't been to a ton of them. So let me know what your favorite Apple store is. I guess the one that I visit the most is probably the one in Charleston, South Carolina, because we go to Charleston a good bit, and there's one kind of right downtown there. Oh man, Alex, thank you so much. Alex just, let's see, where's my sound effects? Stuff is all kind of scrambled around here. There we go. Thank you so much. Alex gifted a channel membership, so thank you. Oh, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. He says, yes, Detroit was the new one. And looks like, William, you received that gifted membership from Alex. So thank you, Alex, once again for that. Yeah, and if you are a channel member, I said we got quite a few here in the chat. Go check out our Discord server if you can't, or if you haven't already. I'm in there every day. Great place to get feedback and stuff when you're building your smart home, and also maybe help out some other people. A lot of great people in there. All working on smart homes, doing some really awesome stuff too. Tom, absolutely love Charleston. Yeah, man. Me too. We love Charleston. We love visiting. I think I would maybe like to live kind of in certain places in Charleston, the outskirts. I wouldn't want to, we like to go and visit downtown Charleston, which is awesome. We love doing that. I wouldn't want to live there, but love visiting downtown Charleston. That's where that Apple store is, and one of our favorite places to go. It's also really convenient for us to go there. Scottsdale, Arizona. Okay. Oh, Pamakit forgot the Apple store in Berlin. We'll go next year. Yeah, it was, what is that the name of that little plaza? I don't know. It was near where I was staying, actually. So I could walk to it. So it was probably about 20 minutes maybe or so from the IFA event. And I'm really bad with names in general, but especially German names and locations. So I couldn't tell you exactly. Trent celebrating 38 months of membership. Thank you, Lone Star Trent. Says, did you see that some TCL TVs with Google TV will have presence sensors in them? Yeah, I did see that. I heard about that. Let's see if we can find something about that. TCL. I haven't really looked into that at all. There we go. The Verge wrote an article. Let's see if I can view this. Get our screen share up. TCL's Google TVs with and millimeter wave presence sensors. Oh, they're out now. So you can now buy TCL's new QM9K series mini LED, and they run. Let me bring my monitor over a little bit. Starts at $3,000 for the 65-inch. It can automatically turn on or off when you get close to it, and they can show a screensaver or a widget based on your proximity. Huh, that is pretty cool. According to the description on the Best Buy product listing, Samsung's the frame TVs and some of its appliances can also detect and respond to motion in the room, though the company hasn't said what technology powers its motion detectors. Man, that's really cool. Really cool. Pretty interesting. We're seeing more stuff like that, and with the new Philips Hue being able to detect presence based on the light bulbs and stuff, we're starting to see a lot more stuff like that. So that might be a trend, in the coming years, maybe it sounds like, where they're just going to make just a lot more devices that can detect your presence and tell when you're in a room, and hopefully make automations and stuff easier. So that's pretty cool. Frederick celebrating 39 months of membership. Thank you, Frederick. Did you see that Samsung TVs with screens on the door will now start curating ads on them? Maybe refrigerators? I'm trying to... Samsung TVs with screens on the door. Wonder if you meant refrigerators. Yeah, well, that's not surprising at all. That's what that's what I've always really liked. One of the things I've always liked about Apple Home stuff is that you don't have to worry about ads popping up. So if we ever get a screen, like a HomePod with a screen or whatever, assuming, unless something changes, there's not gonna be like ads popping up all the time like you see on a lot of those other smart devices. Samsung fridges, yeah. Elvis says, I'm planning to get an alarm system that works with Apple HomeKit. Can you recommend which manufacturer supports HomeKit alarm security? Yeah, so there's two that come to mind off the top of my head. The first one is Abode. That's one I've recommended. I've used Abode for years, like years at this point. And that's ABODE. I think the website's goabode.com. So this is what I use right here. Supports Apple HomeKit. I like this because they've got a lot of accessories that you can buy and tie into the security system. Primarily this little keypad right here I really like. It's just good for the family to have something like that. They've got a couple different models here. I would go with either one of these two. Support HomeKit. Probably would go with this one if you don't need this one. This one's a little bit cheaper. Looks like it's 50% off right now, this kit. This one, I think the big difference is this one right here, the IOTA, also supports Wi-Fi as well as Ethernet, and it has a camera built in. This one right here, I think is just Ethernet, but if you can, plug it into Ethernet anyways. Yeah, Ethernet. And aside from the camera and that, it's pretty much the same, I think. And you can connect all the little devices and sensors and things to it. Good security system. The camera is not great on the other one anyways, so I actually have the IOTA, but I don't really use the camera, and I use it over Ethernet anyways. So this is probably a good one to get. And there's just so many little sensors that you can get, and many of them support HomeKit. So just check to see what supports HomeKit. Their cameras, all their other cameras and their locks do not. So do keep that in mind. But all the door sensors, they've got various types of sensors, like this cool little strip sensor, glass break sensors, water sensors, the smoke alarm monitor. What was I going to mention here? This right here is one of the things I like about it too. You can get this little siren. So I got one of these, and you can plug these into different parts of your house just for an extra siren that'll blare, if the security system is ever triggered. And then the other one that I would mention is Ecobee. So the Ecobee thermostat, now this is a thermostat, so maybe if you need a smart thermostat anyways, this might be one to consider. And they recently updated these to support the security system portion in Apple Home. So some of the features are behind a paywall, but you should be able to connect it to Apple HomeKit, and you basically can use like the thermostat as the keypad and disarm the alarm and stuff like that. So those are the two off the top of my head, like kind of true security systems. Another one that's really like DIY, and I did a whole video about this, you might want to check out, is the Aqara system. So you can get all kinds of sensors from Aqara. Great DIY system. The only reason I kind of put that in a different category is because I think that's the only one of those that I mentioned that doesn't support professional monitoring as an option, which is kind of like something I think should at least be an option. If you want to pay for that, you don't have to pay for that on either of the other ones, but if you want professional monitoring on the Ecobee or Abode, you can get that. Like Abode also has like cellular backup options, battery backup options, which is really nice. And the Aqara stuff, does not have that. But you can build out a really great Aqara security system pretty cheap. And that stuff works really well too. So I did a whole video, like I said, an Aqara security video, probably like a month ago. So you can check that out if you're interested in that. All right, let me. Sorry, went kind of deep on that answer there. Let me say Hair Riot says Abode, Turin says Aqara. Yeah, so those are the ones to look at. Aqara, Abode, maybe Ecobee. So just kind of look at the features and see which one. And budget and stuff like that. See which one kind of fits your needs. Let's see. Jeff, reading your message there. We just use our phones as the key to disable or enable our security system, usually based on location. No need for a keypad anymore. Yeah, that's nice. If I've got enough people here in my house that I would have certain people would have trouble. I would have trouble getting them to do that all the time. So the keypad's really handy, just on the go. People coming in and out to have that keypad. But yeah, you absolutely could just use your phone to arm and disarm, or use location on pretty much all those systems. Let's see. I see some questions coming in, and like Danny said, I'll say you guys can go ahead and drop questions if you want in the chat, and I'll try to come back to as many as I can. If you would preface your comment with the word question, like Danny did here, and I'll save the questions and try to come back to those, so I can kind of keep up in the chat as well with you guys. Jeff said we're empty nesters now, so it's easier. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the kids sometimes can make things like that a little more challenging. So, and sorry, I'll get to this question. Turin says we use hidden buttons for Aqara. Great idea. Just a side note, Turin, that is something that I set up in the video that I was just referencing on the Aqara stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I would definitely do that. And that family where I set that up, they have kids. And so I just showed them easy way to arm and disarm the system is with a little hidden button somewhere. It's like $15 for one of those Aqara buttons. Yeah, so great idea there, Turin. Back to the question. Danny says, I set up the Wi-Fi recently with a designated channel for the home. Do I need to have a device running at home, an iPad or a computer always, to prevent dropout of devices? So if you're using Apple Home or HomeKit, then you just need to have a HomePod Mini, or an Apple TV connected to your network. And as long as you have that, then you should be good to go. So I'm not really sure if that answers the question, but you don't need an iPad or a computer to always be on in order to use Apple HomeKit. You just need a home hub. And again, HomePod Mini, or an Apple TV can act as your HomeKit hub or your Apple Home hub. And you should be good to go there. And then you can control your devices anytime from anywhere. Let's see. Robin says, I see iOS 26 does show replace filters for air purifiers that's something for Apple Home, something new maybe. Interesting. I didn't catch that. Okay, so that's cool. So you can now, so Apple Home, I guess, will show you when you need to replace your air filters. Very nice. That's good to know. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Robin, for sharing that. Edgar's Home Tech. What's up, Edgar? Hope you're doing well today. Okay. Let's see what we got here. A couple other things I wanted to mention too. So I had some questions from the last video. This past Sunday's video was all about robot vacuums and automating your robot vacuum. So if you have a robot vacuum, you might want to check that out for some ideas on how to automate your robot vacuum. But I was able to do that because I was using the SwitchBot S20 for that video, and that supports Matter. And so you can access the robot vacuum in Apple Home, and you can even, have room control and stuff like that. And there were some people that were asking me, like, I've got another SwitchBot vacuum or another Matter vacuum, and I don't see the room control where you can like just vacuum or clean a specific room. And the reason is the vacuum has to support Matter 1.4 in order for you to have the room control. And the SwitchBot S20 does fully support Matter 1.4 out of the box. And I believe the S10, I heard somebody in the Discord server, I think, said that the S10 was recently updated. It already supported Matter over Wi-Fi, but I think it was like not maybe 1.2 or something like that, and they didn't have the room control. So anyways, if you want the room control in your robot vacuums, look for those updates or check. It's hard to see because a lot of times they don't tell you what version of Matter the device is, but if you can find that out, Matter 1.4 is what you need for your robot vacuum in order to get that room control. Oh, nice. Edgar check out Edgar's channel if you haven't, y'all. Was on Eric Wielander's channel recently. Yeah, I saw that, man. I was so bummed I missed that live stream. Would have loved to see that. I always seem to, I guess because it's like around dinner time or something, I always miss those streams. So, or often do. So yeah, I need to go back and check that out. First time live, nice. Yeah, it's always a little intimidating at first, but I'm sure you nailed it. Maybe we'll have to get you on here one day. I think Eric, we had Eric on one of my streams a while back. It's been a while since I had a guest on one of these live streams, so maybe we should do some more of those. But yeah, always fun. Enjoyed hanging out with Eric. It's a good guy out there. When we were in, I almost said CES, IFA. Just registered for CES, so that's coming next. That's coming soon. Checking out the comments. Lurk Jerk says 26.1, iOS 26.1 will bring Apple Intelligence in Dutch. Is it worth buying a new phone? You guys let me know what you think. I think we got some recent iPhone upgrades here in the chat. Do you think it's worth buying a new phone for Apple Intelligence? There are some benefits there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Still waiting on certain improvements, I think, but I don't know. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Let's see. Mark says, will you be testing the new Hue hub with the built-in motion detection? Mark asked. At this point, I do not have any plans to. So I'm not opposed to it, but I don't have one. And I mentioned this, I think last week, I basically stopped using Philips Hue. Like I really don't use Philips Hue anymore. So yeah, I don't have any plans to. I'm not currently testing or have set that up. But again, I'm not opposed to it, but at this moment I don't have plans to. Frederick says, okay, Shane, we need to see the new iPhone and whether or not you have broken it. All right. Here we go. This is it. No case. Still no case. That said, I have dropped it quite a few times already. So I really need to put a case on it. I really do. I think I came to that conclusion yesterday. I dropped it again yesterday. And every time, your bones just kind of shiver a little bit. And I was like, oh God. And then you pick it up and I noticed I had like a little ding, I think, somewhere in it, or a scuff. Yeah, there's like one or two little scuffs. So I just need to put a case on this thing. I'm not good enough to not use a case, I don't think. I don't know why I drop my phone all the time. Frederick says, love the blue color. What do you guys? Are y'all team case or no case? Danny says, have you gone no case? Yeah, no case. No case so far, but I think it's a pretty bad idea. Just based on the amount of times that I've dropped it just in the past week, I need to put a case on this thing. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of pop sockets, personally. My wife loves them. She has to have a pop socket on hers. I will still drop mine. I pretty much guarantee you. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I don't know why I'm so rough on my phones. But, oh man, Jeff, you hate seeing them naked, huh? You hate seeing the naked phones? I don't know, man. I think they look great. I love it like this. I mean, I could see where putting a case on there like me, because you drop your phone all the time. But like to actually prefer the design of it with a case, I don't know. I'd rather see it without one, but Al Silva, man, no case for years. Nice. You're better than me. Raul says, great meeting you at IFA in SwitchBot. Nice. It was awesome to meet you as well. Raul says, greetings from Switzerland. Oh, Switzerland. Wow, I didn't realize you were from Switzerland. Speaking of SwitchBot, has that new alarm button you did a short on released yet? Yeah, it is. It's out. Yeah, you should be able to get it. I think it's on Amazon right now too. So I just put out a little short video on this thing. There we go. It's called the SwitchBot Safety Alarm. And not necessarily smart home. And like I didn't, oh well, sorry, it says pre-order. Okay, I stand corrected. I thought it was available now. I could have swore I saw this on Amazon already. But you can pre-order them now. And they're available in mid-October. Yeah, so they gave me one or two of them when I was there. Just kind of, no obligations or anything. Like I didn't have to make it. I wasn't really planning on making a video or anything about that. That's just a little short video. But I really like them. Like I said in that little short video, like specifically for the ladies, if you got daughters, wife, whatever, like I'm giving one of these to both my daughter and my wife. Already set one of them up, and they're just great. Like supports Apple Find My, so put on your keychain. Like my wife has an AirTag on her keychain now, but I told her, I was like, I want you to replace that with this. What's cool about it is it has this really loud, well, it's got a flashlight for one, but it has this really loud alarm. So you just pull the little pin right there, boop, and it makes this really loud siren alarm. And it also has a cool feature where if you double press the actual keychain, it'll kind of like reverse call your phone. So it's two things you could use that for. Like if you lost your phone, you could use that to find your phone, but it also simulates like a phone call. So if you're, a female or whoever, if you're out and, you're feeling somebody's watching you or something, you can double press that and get like a fake phone call, pick it up, pretend to answer and be like, yeah, I'm, in the parking lot of Walmart. I'll be home in 5 minutes, all that kind of stuff, which is all good, like safety practices. I think everybody should be thinking about. So yeah, I'm a big fan of those. And it looks like they're coming out in mid-October. You can pre-order them now. So sorry, I did think they were available already. Let me see if I know I saw that thing on Amazon. Maybe it was pre-order there too. Well, I mean, delivery Monday, September 29th. So you can buy them now on Amazon. So I guess they're on Amazon, available before the SwitchBot website. And they come in different colors. Oh, they even got 30% off right now. So yeah, there you go. They're available on Amazon. Just search for SwitchBot safety alarm. Another cool thing too is, if I didn't even mention this in the video, but if you have like the SwitchBot lock, you can even use that keychain as an NFC reader or an NFC tag for your SwitchBot lock. So you could just hold that up to it and unlock your door. Nice little added bonus there if you have one of the SwitchBot locks. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Alex said that fake call feature would save me from many awkward situations. Yeah, just use it too when you're like hanging out with people and you're kind of tired of hanging out with them. Just, oh, sorry, I got to go. Get that fake phone call. Nice. Yeah, Frederick, I definitely would, man. I think it's a good little tool to have in your arsenal, especially for those females out there. Yeah, I mentioned that too. Because my daughter was actually pretty excited about it when I showed her. And I was like, yeah, this would make like all females and teenage girls and stuff should probably have something like that. And I was like, that'd be a great gift to give like your friends and stuff like that, Christmas or birthdays or whatever. Definitely. Okay, what else do we got? There's some stuff on HomeKit news I'll mention too, and I'll try to look out for any other questions you guys. Oh, I see some. I'll come back to these. Yeah. Sorry, I see some of your questions. Larry says, first time I got my iPhone 4, I dropped it on day one, put a dent in it, and now my iPhone always has a case. Yeah, I know. I should learn from my mistakes like you, but I guess I'm a little more stubborn. I've definitely done that and broke a few iPhones over the years within a week. And I'm like, oh, it's a new phone. I just want to use it without a case. And then I break it. So I'm going to try to learn, and I'm going to put a case on it. By next week's live stream, I'll have a case on there. All right. So HomeKit news, there's some stuff here. This is a good site too. By the way, if you're not familiar with this, HomeKit news and reviews, they always put new things here for HomeKit. So check it out if you haven't already. I wanted to mention this last week, but we kind of got carried away talking about a bunch of other things last week. Oh, I see you. Raul says I'm from the U.S., but it's for my Swiss wife. I see. I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Wanted to mention this last week because this is a pretty unique device. Avia launches their first smart sash window fastener. So I hear pretty often people asking about like sliding glass doors and things like that. This is for a window, and pretty interesting just because I haven't seen anything like this before. I'm trying to see if it's Apple Home compatibility. I'm trying to see if it says what protocol it uses. Bluetooth, uses Bluetooth. Okay, so not Thread, but it uses Bluetooth. But and this isn't gonna like actually lock your windows. From what I understand, this is just going to basically, whether it's locked or unlocked, it's basically reading as a contact sensor. So you'll know if you forgot to lock your window back, it'll basically read as open. That's the way I understand this. So you won't be able to control it from your phone. And I guess the benefit over using this over like just a regular contact sensor on your window is that the window could be closed and you forget to lock it. And in this case, you would know it would still read as open. So I suppose there's a use case for something like that. Also, there was we talked about already the robot vacuums. Yeah, there was also the Mini too. I didn't talk about the Mini. So the S20 is the one that was in my last video, but they also released the smaller K11 Plus, and both of these have Matter 1.4 support, so you can get those into Apple Home. Looks like we got another Matter over Thread thermostat. So it's been kind of cool to see like more and more products and brands releasing stuff that works with Apple Home basically, thanks to Matter. So this is another one, and it's Matter over Thread, which is nice. I'm not familiar with this company, but Matter over Thread thermostat. I think this was just announced. I don't think this one is available yet. So I don't know, but with Matter thermostat, you might be able to take advantage of that new adaptive temperature feature that we talked about a little bit last week. Danny says, I love the gate lock that you showed off recently. I'm ordering one of them for family to be able to walk my dog on days that they want to. Yeah, is that you're talking about the EcoNet Bulldog gate lock? That's the one that comes to mind. I don't think they've started shipping those yet, but I really hope to see that come. I've been told that is going to come to market, so looking forward to that. Palmakit says, the SwitchBot wallet finder you can also use as NFC cards for your lock. You can, and I was going to say, I don't have my wallet on me, but I keep one of those. That's the wallet finder card that I keep in my wallet also from SwitchBot. Yeah, so some nice little Find My products that SwitchBot is kind of surprisingly released. Not something I would have expected, so. Some questions earlier. Edgar says, Shane, did you hint at the FP300 on Instagram? Caught that, huh? Yeah, so I saw a couple other comments here too about the FP300, Akara's new presence sensor that is not out yet. They've been kind of teasing it for quite a while. Trying to see if they have anything on their website about it. Just a bunch of forums, it looks like. But they've sent out test units, so you may have seen some in the wild and on these forums and things like that. But yeah, it's looks like it's finally coming soon, very soon. So all those who ask, which I get asked about that sensor more than any other sensor, but it's finally gonna come soon. So I mentioned it a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the IFA video from Berlin, they had it on display there, and I asked her like, "Or when is it coming? Is it, everybody wants to know when is that gonna start shipping?" And so it should be within the next month or so. So looking forward to it. And nobody here says he has one already, so it must be part of some testing program perhaps. And yeah, I've seen a few people who have them. So, I mean, the form factor is incredible. catching up on the comments here. I'm hearing movement around the house. Let's see. 3 years replacement. What are we talking about here? The 3-year battery life for what? I'm curious what you guys are talking about. I missed that. Is that for the FP300? There we go. Thank you. Brian says, what's up, Brian? Just join us. Says the FP300 is part of a public test. Visit the Akara forums, I believe. Yeah, and that's where I'm seeing it all over the Akara forums. You can see there's a bunch of stuff like this on the Akara forums. So you could check that out. There it is. $10. $10 you get the FP300. I don't know if they're still running this or not. Sign up August 8th through 20th. So you might have missed that if you haven't done it already. But yeah, worth checking out for sure. All right, well, I'm glad you could join us, Brian. Yeah, John, I think so. The SwitchBot card. Okay, is that what we were talking about? The 3-year battery life, maybe? Yeah, I think those are like 3-year battery lives for those actually. And yeah, when those batteries die, you just throw them away and get you a new one. That's right. They do make some rechargeable wallet finder cards now, not SwitchBot, but other brands. But I haven't used one of those yet. Yep. Okay. Got you, Raul. Yeah. Yeah. So far, I've been using mine for quite a while. Probably not 3 years yet, but a while, and it's still going. I'm not sure what the battery is on it now. Jason says, do you think smart home tech has stagnated? No real new tech in quite a while. Locks, robot vacuum, sensors, etc., but nothing really new. That's a good question. Let me think about that a little bit. Yes and no, I think. I mean, there's been a ton of new products, I think, coming out. You know, not that long ago, there was just 1 or 2 smart locks that support Apple Home Key, for example. Now there's more than I can count. I think as someone who covers a lot of this stuff on YouTube and whatever, there's more to talk about than ever. Like, there's no shortage of products to talk about, even with Apple Home. That definitely used to be the case. So in that sense, it has not stagnated. I mean, there's just more and more coming out. I think more and more people are getting into it. Now, in the other sense, has there been a lot of innovation? Again, yes and no. I think we're seeing a lot of enhancements and improvements in the tech that we already have. Like robot vacuums is a good example. Like, robot vacuums are here. They've been here for a while, and they've just been getting better and better and better. And now they're so good pretty much across the board. Like, all the brands make just really good robot vacuums now. There's also, we're seeing improvements in like a lot of the sensors. We're seeing battery powered millimeter wave sensors. And so it just kind of depends how deep you go. But like the sensors and millimeter wave has been a big thing. We're seeing presence sensors. We were talking about presence sensors in TVs just a few minutes ago. So we're seeing a lot of stuff like that. But it is like small things, I think, underneath the surface. And I think that's just because we have there's so many products out there already. Until we get like robots walking around turning off the lights for us, I think that's kind of all we can ask for, I feel like. Now, in terms of Apple specifically, yeah, they pretty much have been pretty stagnant for a while in terms of Apple Home. They have not done much. Apple Home app hasn't changed a whole lot. we're still waiting. I think we're on the verge of some big things and changes. I also thought that pretty much all of this year, and it just keeps on being delayed. So is what it is. But I think pretty soon we're going to have, new HomePods, new Apple TVs, hopefully that, some sort of screen hub device where you can control your smart home and stuff like that from Apple Home. So I think that we're continuing to get innovation and stuff. There just hasn't been that big, like, wow, like, oh my God, this is something we can do in our smart homes. But I mean, you see like what Philips Hue is doing with their smart bulbs and being able to detect presence and stuff like that. And smart bulbs, there's a lot of innovation, but it's kind of like smaller increments, I feel like. And then also, like on the Matter front, I think Matter is a huge step in the right direction. And when you look at like what they've accomplished, sort of underneath the surface, is a massive undertaking. I feel like, getting all those big companies to kind of agree on a common standard and actually bringing that to the market, and continuing to update. I know with Matter specifically, they've been sort of, especially the past like 6 months or so, like most of this year, just been working on improvements and not, like new product devices and stuff like that as much, which I think is important to do. So I don't think the smart home is stagnant, but I can see why it might look that way sort of from the outside, if that makes sense. What do you guys think? Frederick says, I'm not sure if I want a robot walking around my house. I'd probably freak my cats out too. It's funny you say that. I just saw an ad for some kind of device. It was like a little like R2D2 kind of device, like a robot that like follows you around, and you can like put tools and stuff. And literally, I think its job is like to follow you around. I just saw an ad for that earlier today, I think. And you see, I mean, like we're getting there. I mean, you look at SwitchBots, little robot devices that, can follow you around and move around the house and, take things to you. I don't know. It's going to get weird probably in the future. Yeah, there we go. Good example. Raul says the robot vacuums that can go up the stairs, for example. Like, not a new product, but I mean, definitely innovation there that they've created something that can go up and down stairs like that. I think kind of on the robot vacuum front, sort of the newer, kind of the newer product category similar to that is like robot mowers. There's been a whole lot of robot mowers in the past year, 2 years. We're seeing like Roborock and all these companies making those. So I think that's kind of the next wave of like, those are going to start getting really good. I think just like robot vacuums have over the past few years, I think next is like robot lawnmowers. But yeah, there's, and robots climbing up the stairs. There was a few of them that were doing that. Just crazy stuff. Yeah, Jason says, I think we got spoiled for a while, and now it's just not as fast as before. Yeah, and I think, there's just been a lot of effort to underneath the hood. Like I said, talking about Matter, Thread, all that kind of stuff. There's just been a lot of effort underneath the hood that isn't really like sexy and flashy and all that stuff. But it's really important, to get all that stuff working well and reliably, just to be able to build a better smart home, in the future. And that's what we really need to like kind of get, the mass market, your everyday person to buy in. This stuff just has to be easier and work more reliably, I think, than it has traditionally. So, oh no, Jeff says my narwhal went down the stairs the other day, broke the hat off the LiDAR, but I glued it back on and the robot still works. Wow. Well, good to know. Yeah, Narwhal makes great robot vacuums, but theirs do not travel up and down the stairs. They're not supposed to anyways. Dang, man, I bet that was, oh, man. Talking about dropping your phone, your robot vacuum falls down the stairs. That'll make your heart stop probably. I'm glad it's still working though. Yeah, robot vacuums, man. Or sorry, robot mowers. I love them. I love them. Jeff says, yeah, motion makes good ones. Yeah, I don't know that any of them are perfect yet, but some are definitely better than others. I've used 3. 2 out of the 3 that I've used I really like and worked well for me. I used my motion for a while. I'm using the Segway Navimo right now. Really like both of those. And yeah, they're awesome, man. I love it. Like somebody posted a comment on one of my videos recently. I think it was the garage video about, what is the world coming to? Everybody's just so lazy now. You're in decent shape. You need to get out there and cut your own grass, And I'm like, man, it's not about that. Like I'm not just sitting here eating donuts, watching my lawnmower cut the grass. Like I hate cutting the grass. Like straight up, I hate cutting the grass. And so if I can get a mower to do it for me, I never paid anybody to cut my grass, right? Like I always did it myself. So if I can get a robot mower out there to do it for me, then that's a win-win for me. And I'm always doing other stuff. Like I'm typically like not just sitting around watching the robot mower. I'm working on other projects. I'm doing other things, So it's like all about efficiency, same thing with like robot vacuums, You can let your robot vacuum clean the house while you're taking kids to, practice or whatever it is, going to work and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's not always about just being lazy. It's about efficiency, right? At least that's what I tell myself. Bruce, I have not heard any news. The last I heard was that it's coming this fall, which, I mean, it's fall, right? Are we in? Yeah, so let's see if they've updated the website. I'm going to look at the flagship. So I love Narwhal vacuums. The only downside is that they don't support Matter yet, but they did state that they're going to soon, and they had it on their website. Let's see what it says. Somewhere on here. Man, these are some long websites. Good grief. Sorry about all the scrolling. Hey, there we go. Finally got there. Works seamlessly with Matter. Not quite. Okay, but it will soon. It says available from November. Okay. All right, so we're getting there. I don't know if it said November before. I thought it just said fall, but there we go. There's the update. So hopefully very soon. I will be looking at that because I am using the Narwhal Flow as much, it's such a good robot vacuum. So I'm looking forward to getting that Matter support as well. Really, you hate the Narwhal app? I don't mind the app. It's good enough for me. Does the job, I guess. Yeah, and see, some people love, like Holland, Texas. Some people love mowing the lawn. I think if I had a big yard with a riding mower, like a zero turn or something like that, that would be enjoyable. But I hate using the push mower out there, and yeah, I understand people who like doing it. I get it. It's just personally not me. So yeah, it frees up time, for sure. DJ Rez is asking about the Narwhal Flow and the Aqua 10 from Dreamy. So this is the Narwhal Flow. We've talked about this. I did a whole video on this, so I mean, if you want to see my thoughts on that, you can check out the video I did on the Narwhal Flow Dreamy. Let's check out this one from Dreamy. So very expensive, kind of in the same range as the Flow. That's about what you're going to spend, unless you get, you can usually get some good deals on these. Looks like $320 off right now. Let's see. First Aqua Roll Mopping Robot. Pushes the boundary. So what makes it the first? Just because they gave it that new name? I don't know what makes it the first. I mean, it looks like the roller style, aqua roll mopping technology. I don't know. I mean, a lot of them are this style now. I've come to where I really like the roller style. For a while, I liked the spinny pads. Now I'm pretty much at the point where I'm going to use the roller style mop all the time, or like Narwhal's is like the track style, so it's kind of like a roller, but it's more of like a track style mop. Essentially the same concept, and I really like those mops. So as far as like which one's better, I don't know. I have not used this one yet from Dreamy, but they're probably both really good. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, they can get up steps. So I don't know, maybe look at specific specs like that if you're trying to compare, if you have a large threshold. I know Narwhal can do a certain threshold also. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. But yeah, just look at the different specs. But they're all so freaking good now. Like, especially if you're spending over $1,000, on one of these flagship models, they're all really good. Like I said, I do like the roller style. They clean themselves as they mop, which is nice. They all have like the hot air drying and the auto emptying base stations and all that good stuff. AI obstacle avoidance has gotten really good. That's what I loved about Narwhal. I think the first one I noticed was the Frio Z Ultra, maybe. I don't know. I get these names messed up. But I think it was the last model, was the first one that I used that just had really, really good obstacle avoidance. And I think they've all gotten pretty good now. So it's not like sucking up all the cords and, shoelaces and all that stuff, dog toys and stuff like that all around the house. John says, I wish the price would go down on robot vacuum cleaners. Yeah, they are expensive, and I would say if you have the budget or if you can save up a little bit for them, it is probably worth getting a good one. For me, that AI obstacle avoidance I know is really good. Narwhal's got some pretty good base models that are a little cheaper and still have really good obstacle avoidance. And also the SwitchBot S20 that I talked about on the last video is a really good one. That's probably like my favorite budget pick, or one of my favorite budget picks, because it supports Matter for one, but it also has really good obstacle avoidance. Like, I tested that. It's one of the best. I mean, it's as good or better than some of the robot vacuums that I've tried that cost twice as much. So SwitchBot S20 is a great one if you're on more of a budget. I would definitely consider that one. And it has the roller style mop also. Danny, yes. Thanks to everyone who replies in the chat. Yeah, we got some very knowledgeable people, awesome folks here in the chat. Thank you guys as well for answering questions. Totally worth it, especially if you own dogs. Yeah, I just had a conversation today about robot vacuums with somebody here in real life, and he was asking me, if it really does a good job, and that was my answer right there. It's a game changer, especially if you have dogs or animals in general. Oh no, Jeff says poop avoidance is needed on these robot vacuum mops. Took us a while to deep clean our Narwhal when my dog pooped while we were gone. The robot Dang, man. Which model were you using, Jeff? I'm curious about that. Because I usually test poop avoidance, I guess is what you call it. And now usually, I mean, I'm sure there's some cases where the robot vacuum would have a hard time, depending on the consistency and all that stuff. Trying not to get too gross here. But I actually bought a package of like fake poop on Amazon a while ago. And I got all, it's like, I think it's here in my studio. I've got all these different like fake poops, and I'll usually test the robot vacuums just to see how well it does with the obstacle avoidance around poop. And I did that, I know, recently with that SwitchBot S20. Again, the SwitchBot S20, I think on a normal day is like $700 or $800 maybe. $600 or $700 actually. I got the website pulled up still. And then there's a discount code right now, I think on my page that's still good. And you get 25% off here. Yeah, so $800 plus you get like 25% off of one of these things, save a couple $100. Great deal. This thing didn't run over my fake poop, not once. So, like I said, they're getting better. Jeff says the Naro Frio X Ultra. Yeah, so I noticed with the next year after the X Ultra, because I used the X Ultra, and then the Z Ultra, I think, was the following year, and it was that model and beyond that I noticed the obstacle avoidance getting really good. So maybe whenever you're ready for an update or an upgrade, maybe one of the newer ones will have a little bit better obstacle avoidance. I noticed that a big change specifically within like the last 2 years. I think the obstacle avoidance has gotten way better on these things, just in general, in all of them. Oh man. Yeah, small dogs probably make it a little bit harder. That's a bad day, man. I'm sorry that happened. Yes, Alex, thank you. Be sure to join the Discord server. That's where all the magic happens. Yeah, that's for channel members. Definitely join the Discord server. And I should mention too, when I pull up these comments, all these little yellow symbols here next to the name, those are channel members. So if you weren't aware of that, that's what that means. Hair Riot says the Z Ultra is the good obstacle avoidance. Yeah, okay, good. That's what I thought. Let's see. I think I might have had some more questions saved. All right, answered that. All right, one more question here. Larry asked earlier, what's up, Larry? Larry says, I was thinking about getting the SwitchBot Curtain 3. I have a window that's two that are about 10 feet total. Do you think it's strong enough to open that? Now, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that comment. A window that's, I mean, the distance shouldn't really be a problem. The weight of the curtains might be. But I will say it's been a while since I tested all the different ones. I will say that the SwitchBot curtain is probably the best. Well, the Aqara one was pretty strong, but I know SwitchBot has just been continuing to improve their curtain devices, their curtain bots. And I think, I'm trying to see from IFA because they displayed an updated curtain. So I was trying to look for you real quick to see if I can find that. I don't see it on the website. I feel like they've got an update coming to the curtain. Or maybe they updated it already. So this is from IFA. Looks like it's on sale now. Switchback curtain 3, rod type 1. Okay, so maybe they just updated it. But yeah, these things are really strong. The distance shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I'd probably go with the, I do actually use this. I only have curtains in one room, and that's the one that I use. Oh, nice. Thank you. Gadget Reviews says the curtain 3 is handling 7 feet, blackout, heavier curtains. If it's 2 units running, 2 different curtains should be okay. Nice. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that would be a bad day. Yeah, the Akara ones were really good too. I don't think they update theirs, or I haven't seen any updates on theirs for quite a while. But yeah, the Akara ones were good. They're just big also. So I think the Switchbot ones are a little more versatile. I think they're probably will work with more rod types. That was one thing I noticed with the Switchbot one. If the rod was just a little too small or whatever, then, or too big, I can't really remember, then it wouldn't fit well. So the Switchbot one's a little more versatile, I think. Nice. Tom says, Switchbot curtain is one of my favorite smart home devices. Yeah, they are super cool, man. Anything that controls the shades, you know, smart shades or blinds or curtains, I agree, 100%. Love it. All right, guys, time has flown by. Did not realize we've been going on this long, but I enjoyed it, man. It's been nice little break, sit down, hanging out, talking about smart home stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat, got your questions answered. If not, and you're a channel member, like I said earlier, go hop over to our Discord server. As a channel member, you get access to that. And you can ping me over there directly, or you can just ask the whole community over there to get some information or just share your thoughts. Always love hearing from everybody in the Discord server. And yeah, aside from that, stay tuned. New videos coming soon. Been working on a lot of projects. Check out the podcast if you haven't already, if you're interested in all at that sort of behind the scenes look at my life with me and the wife. Appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye. God bless.